Good morning, everybody. It is a cold Wednesday morning. I'm out here because I'm about to start living one of my dreams, and that is to start a automotive YouTube channel. I've been watching a few of them for years now, and one in particular has inspired me to start a new business venture, which is to start flipping cars. So shout out to Flying Wheels, and I'm about to start flipping cars now. And I have my first flip car. I don't know if you guys can see it. Now that is a 2000 Lincoln Town Car that I just got the other day. So I'm gonna show you the ins and outs about it and go through this whole journey with how I got the car, what I paid for it, how much I'm gonna put into it to get it, where I want it to be at, and then how much I'll sell it for. So we're just gonna do a quick tour real quick. I'm gonna show you some of the stuff that's wrong with it, some of the stuff that's fine with it, and then we're gonna go from there. Like I said, this is a 2000 Lincoln Town Car. I picked it up yesterday. As you can see, there's a piece of the grill missing. There's a chrome strip on the right side missing. Well, my right, that's the left actually. It has a spare tire on it because when I got the car, the original tire was flat. I actually have it sitting in the trunk. But it's not too bad. There's some scratches. It looked like the previous owner might have did like side swipe something, or somebody might have side swiped them. This is a bad tint job, I'm sorry. But overall, the body is not in that bad a shape. And I think there's some dents on this side. Now the car does need to be cleaned. It seems like the person who had it before me has probably been sitting for a while, but this thing definitely needs a cleaning. But the seats aren't too bad. There's a little bit of stuff on them, but nothing too crazy. Show you the back. It's locked. So give me a minute. I'm pressing the wrong button. Okay. Like I said, this really needs a good cleaning. There's a tear right there, but the owner disclosed that to me when they sold me the car. I'll show you the tire. Come on. Yeah, and that's the tire that was on the car. Now, this tire was completely flat, and if you can see, it's starting to crack. And it was like completely like dry rotted, so that's why it was flat. We tried to put air in it. It wasn't taking any air, so this tire is done. So that's one of the things I'm about to get replaced on this car. But overall, it's not that bad. Now I'm gonna show you guys the engine, and then I'm gonna start going over some of the stuff that at least I know what is wrong with the car. The engine, like I said before, this is the 4.6 2-valve V8. Now, the previous owner disclosed to me that the car needed a intake manifold. And if you know anything about these Plather platforms, that is a common problem on these cars. The intake manifold cracks because the stock ones use cheap plastic. And over time, from the heat, from being hot, cold, the plastic likes to, expand and contract, and eventually it cracks. And then this brown stuff you see right here is this coolant that's been leaking from this housing right here. Damn, I had to clean all this up at some point. But that's where your thermostat is, inside here. And your intake manifold is back here. And coolant goes in to the intake manifold, and then it helps cool the engine. So symptoms of having it being cracked is you'll get a rough idle. The car may overheat. It'll leak like how you see right now. So it's showing the signs of a bad manifold. So the manifold itself isn't a, it's like a couple $100 to get a manifold. What kills you is the labor, because there's so much stuff that you have to do to take the manifold off. And this fuel rail has to come off. All this stuff up top has to come off. This alternator has to come off. This intake has to come off. So a lot of this stuff, you're really just getting hit with labor charges, because it's so time consuming to take all that stuff off. But I'm gonna start the car, just let y'all hear, the engine and the idle and stuff like that, just so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So let's get into it. So you can hear that, but the car starts right up. It's at 118,000 miles. Now, 100 miles on these 4.6s is nothing. They can go up to 200, 250, 300,000 miles easily. Another reason why I bought this car is because I'm familiar with these cars, because I own a car right now that has a platform. Any Crown Vic, any Mercury Grand Marquis, Lincoln Town Car, they're all going to have the same engine. They're all going to have the same problems. So it's a little rough, but like not too bad. So like I was saying, it's not too bad. The original owner originally wanted $1,400 for the car. I offered $1,000 and we made the deal. So what I'm trying to do is trying to get this stuff taken care of and fixed, and then end up selling the car for more money. Let me turn this engine off so y'all can hear me better. But yeah, I offered her $1,000. We made the deal. So what I'm projected to try to do is a manifold replacement. Usually runs about like maybe $400 or $500, and the tire might be another $100. It's going to need an oil change, because I checked the oil. It's definitely going to need an oil change. I'm probably going to do a fuel filter, which isn't really nothing. That's not going to be too expensive. Just to take care of some of the wear and tear stuff. Just to get it running as best as it can. So I'm expecting to spend maybe another $600 or $700 on this car. And I'll be in it total for about 17, hopefully. Fingers crossed, if there's no other issues or any major issues. So if I have 17 in it, or 16 or 17 in it, I'm gonna list it for about $3,000. Now with the mileage, I could probably get that easy, because like I said, these cars run for 250, 300,000 miles. Well, the engine, the transmission, maybe not so much, but definitely the engine. So I can get that, no problem. I'm on a couple Facebook groups that, that have platforms on it. So people that like Crown Vics, Grand Marquis, Lincoln Town cars, they'll all be on there. I'm gonna post it on there, see, if I get any bites on there. I'm gonna post it on Facebook Marketplace once I clean everything up and get it everything fixed. So just to show y'all how almost identical these cars are, I'm gonna show you the keys, because I have both of them for my Grand Marquis and for this town car. So on the left right here, that's the Lincoln key, and right here is the Grand Marquis key. Same remote fob, pretty much identical key, except this one has the Lincoln symbol on it. This was a made key that I got made afterwards, but you know, it's pretty much the same car. It might look a little different, but it's the same engine, same transmission, same rear, all that good stuff. So I'm going to take the car to my trusty mechanic, let him know what's up, and hopefully that's the only issues that we got. And you know, we'll see what happens after that. So once I get everything situated with, get the car cleaned out, I'll show y'all, you know, the finished product. I'm gonna take some before and after pictures just to really give y'all a better idea of what I did to the car, and then, you know, we hopefully make some money. So y'all stay tuned. Now, another thing that I forgot to mention earlier is with these intake manifolds cracking, sometimes coolant leaks into the spark plugs and can cause a misfire. So I think that's why this car is having a rough idle and it's making the noise that it's making. Also, the coolant can leak into the coil packs, which can also cause, you know, a little rough ride and, you know, the sound of the engine being this way. So that could be another potential thing that we have to account for with the total cost of these repairs. Now, plugs and coils aren't really that bad, so it might be another $100 and so, maybe $200. But we'll see what my mechanic says, and then we'll go from there. So we're here. Let's see what he has to say. Now, he probably won't want to be on camera, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, like I figured, he didn't want to be on camera. But he said he might get to it tomorrow. So once tomorrow rolls around, we'll find out the damage. He says he's going to call me, so fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. Okay, so now that we dropped the town car off at the mechanic to get worked on, I just wanted to do another video on the Panther platform just to give y'all, you know, a better idea, give y'all more information about it. So right now I have my 2005 Mercury Grand Marquis. Now, I've had this car for going on 6 years. You know, 190 something thousand miles. It's not really too bad. There's some clear coat chipping right there, some scratches, you know, but I've had this car for 6 years. It has 191,000 miles on it, so it's gonna have, you know, the traditional wear and tear, all that good stuff. But overall, it's a solid car. I'll show you the inside. You know, the armrest is a little ripped up, but you know, that's normal. This is coming off on the seat. But overall, it's not that bad inside. I gotta clean it out a little bit. But overall, it's the same platform as the town car I showed y'all. Same engine. You know, this one's a 2005. The town car is a 2000, but I'm gonna show y'all the engine just to show y'all a lot of the similarities and all that good stuff like that. So just give me a second. So this is the engine. The same 4.6 liter V8. Now, obviously I got some other stuff done to it. This is a aftermarket cool air intake, which I might have to change the filter on that. It's about time for a new one. But you can see that's where the housing goes into the thermostat, and that goes into the intake manifold. And I had the same problem that's on the Lincoln I had happen to this car, because like I said, it's a common problem for these cars. But you can see, you know, this looks a lot newer because I got it done a couple years ago. And yeah, but let it start up. You know, I got the remote start. I ain't gotta, you know, turn the key. Nice and quiet. It's not making that noise like the Lincoln was making, because, you know, it's not having no coolant leaking into, you know, the spark plugs and not causing a rough idle. So it's not making it, you know, that noise that the Lincoln was making. But it's the same motor. Now I've gotten some other modifications to this car. Obviously the remote start, this cool air intake, but I also got custom exhaust done to the car. Now when I got the car, it just had a single exhaust, but these is a Flowmaster exhaust, I believe. I can't remember, it's been a while, but I'm gonna let y'all hear it, just and tell me what you think. Yeah, so I closed the hood. It's starting to rain a little bit. Probably didn't choose the best day to come out here and do this, but I wanted to get it done. But I wanted to talk about some myths about V8 cars. A lot of people say that V8s, if you have a V8, it burns a lot of gas. And that's somewhat true, but it just depends on the car. Obviously, if you're driving a big truck or, SUV with a V8, it's going to consume a lot of gas. But this car right here, I'm getting about maybe 23, 24 miles per gallon. And that's with having a heavy foot. I've known people, in the Facebook groups that have claimed they've gotten like upwards of 30. So for a big, heavy V8 car, that's great gas mileage. Now, this engine is also shared with the Mustang around that era. I think it might have been 2004, 2003 to 2004, maybe 2005. I'm not too exactly sure. I gotta look at that. The only difference is this one is 2 valves per cylinder and single overhead cam, and it's a cast iron block. And the Mustang, I believe, is the same 4.6, but it's an aluminum block, 4 valves per cylinder, and it's a dual overhead cam. But don't get confused. Just because it's a Mustang engine does not mean it's fast like a Mustang. Now, those Mustangs back then made about like maybe 220 horsepower, 230 on a good day. Now back then, that was decent horsepower, but nowhere near as good as horsepower for a V8 in today's standards. But yeah, don't get it confused and be like, oh, it's a Mustang engine, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but 200 horsepower with a heavier engine and a heavy car isn't going to get you the same results as a 200 horsepower engine with a lighter engine. So if you get what I'm saying, yeah. But I just wanted to share that real quick just to give y'all some information on it. So we have the town car at the shop. Now, like I said before, I got it for $1,000. I'm projecting to put another 700 into it. Hopefully it's just a 700, and if that's the case, we should be in it total for 1,700. So I'm gonna place it on Facebook Marketplace. I'm gonna place it on the Panther platform Facebook groups that I'm in, and I'm gonna list it for $3,000. I'm gonna make the price negotiable. I'm not gonna try to get too low because, like I said, we're in the business of doing this to make some money. I mean, anything in the positive or in the green is good, but I would like to at least make $1,000 on this car. So if I get the $3,000 that I'm asking for, that's a $1,300 profit, potential $1,300 profit. So I'll get the money that I spent on the car plus the extra $1,300. So that's the plan. Hopefully there's no other stuff that I have to pay for on this car that's going to dig into this profit margin. So like I said, fingers crossed. Let me know what you think about this video. If you've gotten any information, if you learned something today, just let me know. This is my first video doing this type of stuff. Now, I have a podcast, But that's a little different than actually, you know, talking about cars and all this other stuff. So, like I said, let me know what you think. I'm on a hunt for another potential flip as we speak. I'm talking to the guy right now. So hopefully we'll have another car that I can do another video on soon. And we'll figure out how much we can get for that. And hopefully it's not too much to work on. Like, it doesn't need too much. Because like I said, we're in the business of this. They're trying to make some money. And the more that you have to pay on repairs, the more that digs into your profit margin. So like I said, this is the first video I'm doing. Hopefully there'll be more. Well, there's definitely gonna be more. But you know, y'all stay tuned. I'll definitely let y'all know when the next one's gonna be dropping out. So thank you for watching. Peace.